What's up, my cannonballs? We're back for a quick second, just for a short, quick second. I haven't been on in a couple of days. These past couple of days has been kind of just a little bit different for your boy, but other than that, I'm doing okay. Doing okay. But I do have to tell you guys something. When it comes to lending a hand to people that are your friends, it's only so much you can do. Sometimes you just have to say no. Because I had something that happened to me a couple of days ago, and I didn't like it. I didn't mind helping out, but I didn't like it. I didn't like how it 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 ended. You know, I didn't like that at all. Really didn't like it. The person that I was helping out, they made it appear as if you know it was going to be them and a few more other people, but come to find out, they were just needing my help to help two individuals out. Yeah, they know. I know of them, but I don't know them like that. And now for now on, I'm gonna just have to be saying no because I didn't appreciate that. The way that they went about it was kind of really, really sneaky, very, very sneaky. And I don't like sneakiness. You know, I'd rather you tell me in advance what's up, and I can give you a yay or a nay. But it seemed like you know this person didn't really care. They were just only concerned about what they needed someone to they was only concerned about what the other person, which was me, could do. hmm And I was really just kind of just taken back, like, how in the hell could you do that, knowing that you're not going to be around, but they are going to be around? You know, I just didn't understand it. I felt like they had motives, and that's why I don't really too much deal with people right nowadays, because everybody has a lot of people be having motives. You know, if I need somewhere to stay, and I may have a few people with me, I wouldn't just dump them off for a night. I'll be with those people that I'm asking my friend to stay with, and that didn't happen. You know, and that didn't happen. I felt like I didn't feel stupid, but I felt like you played me, and I fell for it. Just trying to be a friend because I know I know certain situations, but I feel like a fool. You know, and now that person has messed it up for anybody. Now I'm not helping anybody out no more. Mm-mm. Because what happened should never even happen. You know, I tried to be that person where, hey, you call me, because I barely hear from this person at all like that. Only time I hear from them is when they probably need a little help. Hey, you did stuff, how you doing? But for how they played that card with me, it just made me feel like, mm, you're just only here to really mooch. And I thought you was being genuine, you know? I thought you was being really, really honest, but come to find out they wasn't being honest. It was some things behind that honesty. Just another lesson learned on how not to help a motherfucker out that need help. I don't care what the dynamics is. Let them figure it out on their own. Just like I have to figure a lot of things out on my own. Yeah, I gotta start letting people figure it out on their own. Tired of shit like that happening. Mm, tired. How? I mean, for you to have trust in somebody in a person, and then they just show you like their true hand, and it's like, wow, you supposed to be my friend. Mm-hmm. You supposed to be my friend, and shit. I see now that you was trying to be a friend for your own convenience, and I hate when people come around me trying to be a friend for their own convenience. Honestly. And I ain't lie to you. That's why I use that word friend loosely, honestly, especially when it comes to the ones that know me in person. hmm I mean, they had people upset with me because I asked. I had to ask the head honcho of the household if they could help these people out, and they did. But look, we would not be asking. No, I would not be asking anybody else to help anybody out that knows me, no matter what it is, because that should never even happen. If you got company that's coming along with you, you stay with your company. You don't just abandon them for a night, all because you may think that another party may not accept them. It's bullshit. It is. And that just goes to show how much of a friend they really are. I ain't gonna lie to you. Not gonna lie to you. Excuse me. hmm And what I was gonna say, you guys, I did see that video about Little Nas X. Mm, man, seemed like somebody was on something. But it's typical when it comes to those people that's in the public eye. Sometimes they just have a, a I guess, a breaking point. But that looked like something that was kind of like drug induced. Alcohol doesn't make you do all of that unless if you want attention. But I don't see that as trolling, and I don't see that trying to get your name back out there. I see it as someone was dealing with something personal, personally, and they all have to, some of them are stronger than others, but I don't know, I don't feel bad for the brother because he is grown and he made that decision to do that, but sometimes you have to go back to what you know. And if he was out there doing what he was doing, you know, he was obviously doing that for a reason, whether he was under the influence or not. Because no one makes you walk the streets but naked, not unless if you are looking for something. you know, no one makes you do that. No one really does. Mm, but I think he'll be all right. He just gotta, get himself together like we all do. I'm just glad I'm not doing crazy things like that. But see, you guys, a lot of people say I'm looking for attention. I'm glad I'm not looking for attention in that type of way. Mm-mm. I ain't looking for attention at all, really, to be honest with you. I just do me. I'm just doing me. But I'm glad that I ain't losing it like that. I'll be damned. I'll be a fool getting on here, and just showing certain things that I know I should not be showing. Or better yet, doing things that I should not be doing, you know? Because some things are just not a good look. I don't care what it is. Some things are just not a good look. And that right there was not a good look at all. Mm-mm. It's actually a bad look for the younger fans because they may look at that and be like, "Oh man, what's up YouTube cameras? I want to try that when I get his age," and them not knowing that that's the wrong way to go because you may not make it back home. You know, you may be captive somewhere. Somebody may try to hold you against your will and hurt you, torture you, and let alone, or better yet, either kill you. hmm That's why it's important to be mindful of what really what since if you're gonna be, I would say, an influencer or whatever you may choose to do in the public eye. It's good to be mindful and watch what you do because even just doing little small, well, even if you may have your little your small YouTube channel, certain things should be you got to watch what you do and watch what you say because I bet you it's some little kid, you know they don't they lied about their age, but they're watching your videos and they're listening. you know they're listening. hmm Hell, look, I'm an uncle, so therefore I have to watch what I say around my nieces and nephews because I don't want them thinking that however I'm going about something, it's the right way to do it. you know they may not understand it, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to promote that as if, hey, when you get my age, I want you to do the same thing I did. No, mm-mm. I want you to be careful and just watch out. You know, it's already scary enough that, when I get older, you know, how it's, how is this world going to be for them? That's my main concern. Like, how is this world is going to be for them? Because, like they say, the young ones are our, the children are our future. The young babies are our future. It's like we are, like, just like I am my parents' future. Well, the older ones, you know, it's just something. Mm. But that was kind of scary, though, a little bit to watch and very cringy. Hell, I even seen another superstar, even though I'm just giving my opinion on it. See, another superstar, she seemed like she was high. Well, she seemed like she was intoxicated. I think her name was something Tyler, but she seemed like she was intoxicated, had a little bit too much. But when it comes to small people that drinks, you gotta know your intake, and you gotta know how to handle your liquor. Because if you don't know how to handle your liquor, it will take over you. And then I think these people are still in their 20s, so they're not too far from me. They are my peers. But yeah, just be mindful of the liquor intake when it comes to you being out there in public. See, I could never, well, take that back. I had one episode where I did fall asleep in the club, but I had people that was around me looking at me and watching me. But I did fall asleep in the club because I had too much to drink, on the way there. So therefore, when I got up in that building, I was feeling it, and I had to lay my head down. And it was a little bit embarrassing because a few folks knew me that I went to school with, and they went back talking and telling other people, but it wasn't nothing I can do about that. But for now on, that won't never happen. Never ever again. Mm-mm. Excuse me. That will never ever happen again. I don't want to. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be slouchy like that. But they all get. Yeah, I would say all the 20-year-olds that may have a drinking spell, you know, or they have that alcohol little moment, in their lives. Just got to be careful, man. Got to be careful and shit. If you feel like you are getting to that point where you're not even able to stand up, drink some water. You know, Look, nowadays I drink water if I'm drinking alcohol. Look, I'm drinking water right with the alcohol. I ain't gonna lie to you. I know that sounds a little crazy, but hell, I gotta have a balance. Because if I don't have a balance, I won't be able to control my alcohol. Even though I can control it, but at the same time, I know me and I know how much I can, intake. But you know, some people that are smaller than others, they can't handle it. They can't hang. You know, and then her being a woman, women, it's certain women that can handle this. Well, they say women can't. I mean, how can I say they say women they get a lot drunker faster than men. It's something to do. It has something to do with in their bodies. I forgot what it is. But men, they say men have a stronger I forgot the wording for it, but we can handle it a little bit longer. But but I'm not gonna lie to you. It's some women I've seen some women that can knock them back, knock them back a lot harder than men. hmm And it's something. It is something. But yeah, to all the little shorties out there, all you guys that's 5'5" and under, just be careful. I would say stick to a spritzer. Something that's not gonna get your toe up so quick. If you want to take a little shot of some vodka, or brandy, just take one or two. Because me, some people get drunk a little faster than others. That is small, like me. Me personally, I look, I sip. I had to learn that too. You got to learn how to sip. Don't just be guzzling down, trying to feel it. Because while you're sipping, you're gonna start feeling that buzz, within you. But just take your time, you know. And I ain't gonna even lie to you. I could be wrong. She may have passed out, but to me, it looked like she may have been under the influence too, as well. She may have been drunk out of her mind. Hope she didn't get, a Mickey in her drink. And whoever is around her, they should be mindful too, and just be like, "Shit, this is how much we gonna drink for the night, and then we gonna take it right back on home." You know, because anytime I'm around somebody new, I don't get tore up and twisted like that at all. I take my time. I take my time, and all the way I don't drink, I will save it for the next day. I put it in the fridge, in the freezer. Because you don't have to guzzle it all down and in one night. Because some people like to do that a lot of the time. They like to guzzle it down for all, trying to just do the utmost. But sometimes you can save it. Ain't nothing wrong with saving it. It's nothing wrong with that at all. It's really not. It's really not. Hey there, Regina. Show how you doing? But yeah, yep. You know. Oh, excuse me, you guys. Yep. That's just how I be for some of us smaller folks. But hopefully they'll get that in. Hopefully they can get that in order. They can get that in order because that's not really a good look, especially when you are in that field. You know, even though when you are in that field, sometimes you see a lot of them doing that type of stuff. But hopefully they'll learn. You know, it is what it is. Just something I guess it's something that we kind of all have to. Well, it depends on the person, but I'm just speaking for me a little bit, honestly, and from people that I've been around. Sometimes you go through that stuff. Hell, I done noticed that. You know, it's only so much I can take now when it comes to alcohol because consuming it so much over the years is like your tolerance level becomes very, very. Well, I used to have a short. Well, how can I say? But did I have a short tolerance? No, I think I had a. Yeah, I had a high tolerance, but I can tell the high tolerance is coming down to a minimum nowadays. That's why I don't. I try not to get on here. And be saying any old thing. Sometimes it's just best to not even hit the live button and just do you for the time being, and whatever you may be feeling whatever you may be feeling from what you've been drinking, let that wear off. Because sometimes you can say things that you don't mean. Yeah, you know, because I have been around people. I done been around people that done said a whole bunch of things that they didn't mean, and I think some of them did. I think some of them did mean it. I ain't gonna lie to you. They say a drunk mind speak, or a drunk tongue speak a sober speaks a soul. How did it go? I forget how it goes. But and if you anyway, it goes like this. If you're under the influence, you're gonna end up speaking the truth. And sometimes I'm a little bit like that too. But I don't have to be under the influence. Sometimes I would just say it in a respectful way. Sometimes everybody ain't like that. They'll just tell you how it is, and then they don't give a damn how you feel about it. But I ain't like that, and I know everybody ain't like me, so it is what it is. It is what it is. I take it for what it is. When I if someone does come around me being like that and they just saying this and saying that to me, you know, I have really learned a lot on not sweating the small stuff because I sometimes I used to sweat the small stuff so bad to the point where I'd be like, man, this is affecting my damn day. Because I was like, I can't believe that person actually said that to me. But now, mm, it is what it is. You can have your opinion about me, and I'm gonna have my opinion about you. Honestly, you know, honestly, yes, indeed. Hold on, you guys. I clear my throat. But yeah, and you guys, I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend, even though it's almost over. Well, it is over now. You know, Sunday's coming up, but I hope you guys have had a wonderful weekend. And what else? I believe that's it. You guys stay safe out there. Um, protect your energy. Be blessed and not stressed. And it was nice chatting with you guys, or just really just getting whatever I was feeling in my spirit out, so you guys can hear it. And I appreciate you guys for coming through. And on that note, we'll see you. Oh, is it Poppy? You said a drunk mind speaks a sober heart. Hey, hey, Poppy. Yeah, thank you for correcting me on that. All right, you guys. Well, you know what? It's time for me to continue to watching my Steph and Tosh and Steph and Fallon. I've been watching them. I've been binge watching them. I've been trying to like not watch too much of the negativity, like the arguing and stuff. I don't know. Sometimes you have to cut. You kind of have to have a balance. So I don't even really too much know what's going on. I just hear about, Big Man. I hear about Sarah Pouch. I hear about, I hear about Brian. I don't even know what happened to him, but I hope he's all right. Um, I did hear about something with Lemon, but I just haven't been that invested to just sit there and just listen and listen and listen and listen and listen. I did try to support, well, I do support my big sis and my big bro, Rick Reed and Deanna. I tried to catch a little bit of their lives earlier. Well, not from yesterday, because I missed it. I didn't even know today was Friday. That's how much I've been out of it. I really been kind of just in and out of sleeping. I don't know what's causing me to not well, I don't know what's causing me to be very, very sleepy like this, but I'm trying to shake that off. But yeah, I just been really just doing and watching other things outside of the beef. hmm The beef, yes, indeed. Just been separating certain things. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. I'm out of here. Peace, you guys. Y'all be blessed and not stressed.